to do a discussion about Windows 7 coming out this week and what that means for the consumer. For those of you that do not know, Microsoft released a new operating system. It came out this week, and it is to replace Vista and Windows XP and all the operating systems that came out before it. And the name of the software is Windows 7. Catchy title. And what is an operating system? Well, an operating system is really just a giant piece of software that holds all sorts of different little pieces of software in it. So when you have an operating system, it actually has a bunch of little pieces of software that run behind the scenes to make the computer work. And you may think when you load a Windows program that it's really just one program, but it's not. I put an example of different functions that an operating system has in it. And each of these is controlled by little tiny pieces of software. So an operating system may contain over 300 different operating pieces of software running behind the scenes to make the entire system work. You may have a little piece of software that runs your screensaver, another piece of software that is handling time and date function. There's tiny pieces of software that define the font you're using, what size it is, that's a program, what color is it, that's a program, what type of font is it, that's a different program. So all these little bitty programs are running all together to make the operating system work. And so when you have a system, you have all these little parts and pieces working together. Sometimes there's bugs, and sometimes you need to repair problems, and that's called a patch. So when there's something wrong with a program that's running, one patch will fix that one program. You might have run Windows Update on your computer, and this is a piece of software to repair something that's buggy within one of the little programs running in the operating system. So you put a patch to fix a problem. And when you do an update to your computer, you're actually loading a bunch of little patches to fix all those little programs. And as you add patches, it could be that those cause problems with other programs running on the computer. Upgrade would be to move one operating system to another. So for example, if you were ever running Windows 98 and you went to Windows XP, you did an upgrade. And that upgrade took you from one version to another. And by doing that, it actually replaced all those little bitty programs in the operating system with other programs. Now, in some cases, an upgrade is not necessarily a good thing. Windows had a version come out called Windows ME, and it was not a stellar program. It was supposed to replace Windows 98. Windows Vista that came out before Windows 7 was supposed to be the next best thing for Windows XP, but it was not. It just did not take off very well. But Windows 7, they're saying, is the future. And that is a fully upgraded operating system that fixes all the little problems, all the little holes along the way from Windows XP up to the current version, which is Windows 7. And they're saying it's really a good piece of software to get if you are ready to move to the next level. All that being said, what is it? Windows 7 is the operating system. So it's all those components that run your computer. And the information I just pulled up, it's on Microsoft.com/Windows/Windows 7, or you can just do a search for Windows 7, and it will take you to the website and explain to you what Windows 7 is. There are various versions of Windows 7. I clicked on Compare, and there's a home version, a professional version, and an ultimate version. And this will tell you what the difference is between each of these pieces of software, as well as the price comparison. On most new computers, when you buy them, they will offer you Windows 7 Home Premium, which, as you can see, has only 5 options compared to the other versions. So you may want to look at upgrading, but you may want to know what those different versions will bring to the table. How do you know if your computer is going to be ready to handle Windows 7? Um, there are some features that you need to know about if you are going to upgrade. One of those is that you have the minimum system requirements, because the new version does require that a computer have at least 2 gigabytes of RAM minimum to run the software. And also, just the operating system itself will take 16 gigabytes of space on a hard drive. So you need to make sure you have a good hard drive and a computer with at least 2 gigabytes of RAM running in the memory section of that computer. Another way to figure out if your computer is ready to run is to run a test that is available on the site as well. Within this Windows 7 site, if you clicked on Get Windows 7, there is a piece of software that can run on your computer to test it to make sure that it is ready to run. And what it will do is it will show you this list of system requirements, it does simple tests, and it will tell you what you would need to get to make your computer run the software. So don't go and buy the software unless your computer is ready to run it, or if you're planning on purchasing a new computer, at which time you can tell whoever you're buying your computer from that you would like to move to Windows 7. Again, it's not a required piece of software, it's an upgrade. Windows XP is still a valuable piece of software. Here in the district, we are going to stay with Windows XP until we are absolutely certain that every computer in the district can run a new operating system with those minimum requirements of 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigabit hard drive to hold just the operating system. We also have to test to make sure that every piece of software the district uses will run on a new operating system without a hitch. So it's a time-consuming process, but it's something that we do to make sure we are ready for the future. Again, Windows 7, look up the information online before you buy.